On the back of a successful Arabian travel market, what have we learned about travel and tourism in the UAE? We're here to find out today. I'm Shayan Shakeel. This is Jeremy Lawrence. Welcome to Inside AB. So Jeremy, you spoke with three very influential experts in the industry at Arabian Travel Market. What have you gleaned from them?
Yes, we recorded a podcast while the event was happening. Mohamed Saeed from Royal Caribbean, Ahmed Soliman from TCA Tourism, and McGrath, who's the GM of Six Senses Zighy.
Right.
Interesting guys. So I asked them, first of all, what themes were emerging from ATM. The first one, and this was, Ahmed was telling me about this, was that the UAE and Dubai in particular is trying to focus more on budget tourism. Not budget as in backpackers hostels or anything. Right. But you've got Emar's Rove hotels, which have done really, really well since their launch, which is still a quality experience, but a different price point. You've got Zabeel House by Jumeirah, which again, it's not budget, but it is a different offering to certainly Jumeirah Beach Hotel or Burj Al Arab.
Right.
Second thing is that they're being marketed quite differently. So they're doing a lot more social campaigns, online influencer marketing, and they've done stuff at the Dubai Tourism and Commerce and Marketing, DTCM, have done Dubai on a budget, and they had influencers going and how much could you spend in a day, for example. So just trying to position it differently so you've got these different offerings within the market.
Okay, all right. And so what have you learned about the industry besides the budget market?
Well, you had Mohamed Saeed was talking about the role of cruise ships in the region. He says that there's almost 1 million passengers a year now coming to the UAE, to Port Khalifa and at the ports in Dubai.
Right.
He says that this is because they're the only ports basically in the Middle East where you can stop. This is the only place that's got the proper infrastructure to allow that to happen. So although Saudi wants to develop this up in the Red Sea, it just hasn't got the infrastructure yet. It will, but it'll be several years. So it's a very important component of the tourism market and will continue to be in future. They're going to really ramp that up.
Okay, so we've heard quite a bit about budget, travel options in the UAE. The cruise industry is booming, and the health-based tourism industry is also on the rise.
Yes, Arabian McGrath from Six Senses Zighy was telling me that health-based tourism came up, and he said it's not just about putting a low-fat yogurt on for breakfast or the odd yoga class. In other parts of the world, you can go for detox retreats, you can go proper wellness programs, and that's a niche that increasingly people are looking for. He says at Zighy they've long been doing that. They have sleep wellness programs, they have really integrated packages so people can really come and switch off, get healthy, unwind, and he thinks that's going to be increasingly important, like I say, not just as a little add-on, but as a key component. And I think MAG have announced a wellness resort that they intend to build in Dubai next to Healthcare City. So
right on the creek.
Yeah, so that's going to be an important subsection of the tourism offering here as well.
Now, I'm going to assume that, these wellness resorts and retreats in the UAE are going to be part of the luxury market space. But luxury seems to be having a bit of a rough ride in the UAE over the last few years.
I think the hotel industry in general here had such a stellar ride for a few years in terms of their room rates and their occupancy, that it could only go one way, and that was down. So it's still strong compared to other parts of the world, but it has leveled off a lot. Interestingly, Arabian McGrath was telling me that they found the opposite at Zighy. Their RevPAR's gone up and their occupancy's gone up. He says that's because they are genuinely unique. I mean, if anyone's been to Zighy, it is a completely unique offering in the marketplace. And he says that's going to be in the marketplace. You're going to see this more, that the top-end hotels, especially the city ones in Dubai, that are kind of a bit similar, they're going to find that now that you've got a lot more aggregator rate programs that you can, so potential visitors can go and see basically what do I get for my money, it's hard for these hotels to differentiate themselves, and that's going to be more a problem. So he says at that top end, all these hotels are going to have to find new ways to make themselves distinct in the marketplace, or else they will get squeezed.
So standing out in the face of similar options at the top end is a challenge for hotel operators. What other challenges do you feel that Dubai and its operators are going to have to cope with?
Well, all three of the participants in the podcast were very bullish about the prospects for growth. Dubai, remember, wants to attract 20 million tourists by 2020. It got 15.79 million last year, so it really is on course to get there. Ahmed did say that with the increasing numbers of attractions that have been built here, that there are more reasons for tourists to come back. So we don't need to get 20 million new tourists by 2020. We just need to get repeat business. So he thinks we're on for that. And obviously, if hotels develop more unique offerings, that will help people to attract people to come back. The other final point that he did, the one caveat that Ahmed again mentioned, was that there could be more competition in coming years. Saudi has very, very ambitious plans of its own from Vision 2030 to attract millions of non-religious tourists to come to the country. It, remember, has 1.6 million Saudis visiting Dubai every year. It would like that business to stay in the country, so Dubai has got to face that competition. Egypt is more stable than it was, and people are going back there. It's a very cost-effective offering. Turkey's more stable than it was a couple of years ago, and that is a very big tourist destination that welcomes people from the Middle East with open arms.
Right.
So there is competition, but Dubai is very much on track to get that 20 million number that it wants by 2020.
All right, so a growing number of options around the region, as well as hotel operators trying to stand out from the crowd. Great insights, Jeremy. Thank you very much. You've been watching Inside AB. Remember to subscribe and comment below, and tune in tomorrow for the next edition. Thank you for watching.